What's up with it, man? Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment. Here again with another one. Be sure to hit that like, sub, comment, notification. Do all that good stuff, man. You know the deal. You know the drill. Now, yesterday, amongst a busy NFL scheduled day yesterday, we got to talk about the Cowboys. Uh, what's up with it, TJ? Boxing and Sports. Definitely go subscribe to my boy TJ Boxing and Sports. Man, TJ, man. Hey, bro. Hey, people be liking what you be saying. Man, you going to have to be longer in the videos, man, or at least do a live or something, man. Because one thing I'm going to say about TJ, man, this guy, man, he hold that logic in. It's like he gonna give you a little bit, but man, when he starts spitting that logic, and he starts telling you about the game and coverage of the game and analyzing everything, you like, man, why this nigga TJ talk longer? I'm like, man, he had a 7-minute video one time. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, damn, I thought I died and went to heaven. I was like, what the hell? I was like, man, I was like, TJ, I thought TJ was gonna go at least 30 minutes. But nah, man, I'm messing with you, TJ. TJ know I'm messing with you, man. You keep doing your thing, but y'all go subscribe to that boy TJ Boxing and Sports, man. Definitely channel popping. One of the LDBC brothers too as well. Having said all that, man, let's go ahead and get right into it. Look, yesterday, man, the Cowboys, they came in shorthanded. Came in shorthanded without Dak, with Dak being on the sideline, and they ended up winning the game. And some might be like, man, are you a Cowboys fan or what? Because you talk about them quite a bit. Well, first off, I'm in Dallas, okay? So I ain't got no choice but to see Cowboy this and Cowboy that and Maverick this and Maverick that and Stars this and Stars that with the hockey scene and Rangers this and Rangers that, okay? So I'm always going to see it. But another thing is that I like Dak coming out of college, and I also like Ezekiel. I think Ezekiel gets slept on, and of course, a combination of Cooper too. However, in this game, it was the defense. It was the combination of the defense and the receiving that had won that game. Now, Rush had came in, the backup quarterback that came in. He did a phenomenal job. I gotta give it to him. And see, that's a testament to why the Cowboys are a threat in the NFC. I keep telling my boy Lou the Ryder that the Cowboys are for real. Regardless of what anybody wants to think. And this is why. They're gonna bring up the fact about Dak's health. They'll be like, oh well, he's having all these knick-knack injuries, all this other stuff. No, Dak is fine. Right? Why put him out there and risk him getting hurt? And then next thing you know, that blows your chances once again this year. The Cowboys are in a great position right now, and I'm gonna get to the defense in just a second because that's Trayvon Diggs neither. Okay. Key word, I said Lions. TJ, I think you know what I'm probably talking about. Look, they still have enough to win despite Dak being out. See, this is why the Cowboys are so dangerous. Even though somebody goes out, guess what? Somebody can come in and fill that void. Somebody can come in and fill that void. You understand what I'm saying? That's what you need. They got to have a next man up mentality. That's why, like, you have a lot of teams that are struggling, towards the end of the stretch. Okay, if a running back goes out, you know what I'm saying? Your main running back goes out. Guess what? You got Pollard, just as good as Ezekiel Elliott. Guess what? Amari Cooper did a phenomenal job yesterday, 122 yards, man, 1 touchdown. Guess what? He goes out. You got C.D. Lamb up in there. C.D. Lamb goes out. Guess what? You got Wilson in there. Same thing with the secondary and the defense. It's the same exact thing. Marcus Lawrence ain't there. Guess what? You got Gregory there. And listen, getting to the line or linebackers, really we should just be talking about one linebacker, singular, not plural. Not to take away from any of the other ones, but Parsons. I keep telling y'all about Parsons. Everybody's like, oh man, he ain't that good, all this other stuff. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? You don't believe in that dude, in a dude that is coverage. He was 10-1 yesterday. He had 10 tackles and helped on one. Led everybody. It's a fucking rookie. He's the lion. He's the nifty lion that came from Penn State. And I told motherfuckers they thought I was crazy when I said that he reminds me of Ray Lewis. He's all over the goddamn field. He covers so much. He covers so much ground. So much ground. Listen, I'm not calling. I'm not saying he's LT. Okay, I'm not saying he's Lawrence Taylor. I'm not saying that he's any of these great line. He's not a He's not a fucking what's it called? Like a Urlacher or somebody like that, or even some of the earlier linebackers or whatever that was an LT era. But for this generation, he fits more of a Ray Lewis type, because people think that Ray Lewis was just all about power and all that shit. No, he wasn't. What's it called? Ray Lewis was finesse too. Ray Lewis was very athletic, especially when you talk about Miami and when he was with the U. I mean, he made defense. Parsons made defense look pretty, just like the Ravens used to make defense look pretty. What's up with it, Matt Moses? Hopefully you'll step on the panel and we'll be able to talk about it. But see, I told you. I told y'all guys. Y'all like, oh, well, they're not playing anybody. They're not doing anything. Well, if they're not playing anybody and they're not doing anything, well, guess what? They certainly should have lost. They certainly should have lost this game. And you had a quarterback that stepping up in there, man, thrown in the fire. Only threw one interception. 28 of 40, that's decent. 325 yards, I'll take that. Regardless of what you say, the Cowboys are for real. My bad, y'all. I cut out for a minute. Sorry about that. But like I said, man, the Cowboys are for real. And listen, I still got them coming out of the NFC. Y'all are sitting up in here. Y'all talking about the Rams. Y'all talking about Green Bay. Some people even still talking about Arizona. Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Losing J.J. Watt was a big loss. I don't care if he's even at his elder age. Losing J.J. Watt was a big loss. Now you gotta worry about uh, New Orleans because Jameis Winston is out too, and I'm gonna talk about Jameis a little bit later. The reason why I don't trust Green Bay is because their defense is just not as good as the Cowboys. It's not, and they're a terrible first half team. Terrible. At least with Dak, um, he keeps the game within reach. That defense, they're not going to let you get away with anything. They're not going to let the game get away from them. And the reason why we're not ready, Tampa, who I was really disgusted with how we played yesterday, because there was some decisions, man. And listen, Tom Brady made some errors yesterday. Y'all say what you want. Everybody wants to sit up here and say, "Oh yeah, well Tom Brady's the best football player alive" and stuff like that. Look, I gotta call spade a spade, and I'm objective. I don't sit here and gloat on the fact that, oh yeah, he got this many rings and he done did this and he brought a championship and everything. No, what have you done for me later? What have you done for me lately? I think shout out to Jacob Jennings. That's what he was key for saying this. Jacob did. He said, "Update your resume." Well, shit, that's gonna happen every single game. So he needs to start waking up. We're not a threat to anybody in the NFC. Not at all. The Rams proved that they could beat us. The Cowboys actually proved that they could beat us, even though that they lost, because we didn't win by much. We gotta stop acting like the Cowboys aren't a well-oiled machine. They are a well-oiled machine. And then I didn't even mention. Well, I mentioned him briefly. I didn't even mention the receiving. Cooper was on it. Now, what's his name? Rush. He missed a few reads. That's gonna happen, especially if you're a backup. But boy, how he was doing it. People want to talk about it, man. Don't count out Amari Cooper. That's just a guy that you can't count out. You can't count out Lamb, and you certainly can't count out Wilson. You know, and then Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, he's having a tremendous year. Him and Pollard, man, they're tearing up the run game. And then you got Zeke, man. He could be a dual threat if he keeps it up. See, y'all want Zeke to be over 100 every single game, or 90 yards on the ground and 30 in the air or some shit like that. It's not gonna happen. It's not like that. It's not like that. It's just not like that. But guess what? They still winning the game. They still are 6-1, whether you like it or not. Exactly, TJ. And see, this is another thing too. This is another thing that I don't think a lot of people. I had to touch on this, TJ and Matt Moses, if you're still there. Look, the only Achilles heel is not the players. It's Mike McCarthy. Because Mike McCarthy, he has shown in pressure like type situations, he's made some horrible decisions, horrible play calling. So while everybody's talking about, oh yeah, the personnel and the players and all that, no, they got the weapons. The Cowboys have all the weapons. I think maybe they could probably use maybe secondary and maybe a uh, another tight end. Other than that, nobody's messing with the Cowboys. They're only gonna mess up themselves. And everybody thinks that, oh, they're probably gonna blow it this season and stuff like that. I don't see that happening. Matter of fact, I think that Dak got the mental poise to come out of there. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not rooting for them. I'm not sitting here. I want Tampa to win the whole thing. I want us to bust everybody's ass, but unfortunately it's not that way. And then on top of that, uh, we got players that are hit or miss. Gronk is playing awful. Well, I'm not. Well, I put it to you like this: Gronk, Gronk and Brady aren't on the same page right now. They're not on the same page. They're just not on the same page. And Tom Brady, man, he's uh he's making he's making mistakes that are so unlike him. And everybody's like, oh yeah, well Tom Brady's playing at an MVP level. I don't like really honestly. I struggle and I fathom with putting him up there in the MVP level because some of the other guys haven't made as many errors as him. Lamar Jackson at one point. Uh, I mean, this guy wasn't throwing a whole bunch of interceptions, missing reads or anything like that. Actually, Lamar Jackson was pretty damn accurate the first few games of the season. I think besides that game when he played against, I think when they played against, I think it was Detroit. It's either Detroit or the Chargers, one of them. But yeah, man. Hey, they're a force to be reckoned with. They're gonna be a force to be reckoned with, and Green Bay, as much as I like their chances, they're not gonna. I don't think they're coming out because I think that the Cowboys are. They have they got a little pep, you know what I'm saying, in their stuff, so to speak. They they're hungry. Aaron Rodgers is playing with a chip on his shoulders. So is the whole team of Green Bay. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder, but I just don't see anybody beating the Cowboys. And people talk about the Bills. I mean, not the Bills, the Rams. The Rams defense is not even nowhere near as good as the Bills. The Bills got the number one ranked defense. The Bills got the number. They got the number one ranked defense in the league. At least that's what it was last week, unless something changed. You know, we can't go to sleep on some of these other teams. And then I think, to my knowledge, um, because Washington ended up losing yesterday. Or did they win? Hold on. Yeah, they ended up losing to the Broncos, and that's what I wanted to talk about. You know, the Broncos are 500 now. The Broncos, they have caught up. You know, they're trying to bring it on. They're trying to bring the pain. Now, I know that doesn't have anything to do with the AFC, but I mean the NFC. But still, like I'm giving an example of teams that started off, you know, pretty slow and come on to the end, and then I don't think that Kansas City is going to quite recover. I really don't. People want to see them in it. People want to see Mahomes back up in the midst, you know, and they play, you know, they got to play tonight. It would be crazy if the Giants spoil their party, man. On a national stage too, because the Chiefs are no longer 500. They're 3-4. Nobody's talking about the Chiefs right now. Nobody. Only thing that you could say really about the Chiefs is about Mahomes and his commercial. You know, I know Mahomes. You know, he represents for Texas and everything. You know what I'm saying? But they're not doing good this year. They're just not doing good this year. And I don't want to hear any, I don't want to hear anything about, oh, it's just the defense. It's the defense. It's the defense. No, it's not. It's collective. It's collective. That KC has been exposed, but they will beat New York. I listen. I won't even give them a chance against New York, TJ. I won't even give them a chance. I won't even give them a chance against New York. You never know. New York might. You know, sometimes bad teams, man. You know, they're hungry and they want to prove something. Kansas City is a bad team right now. Like, what? Look, I know that they won the championship. You know, 2 years prior. Okay, we know that. I understand that. Or a year prior. Sorry, but still, they are not good this year, man. And now, if you said the Bills, TJ, if we was to say the Bills, okay, yeah, I would understand that. But man, we talking about Kansas City. They're not on the same page. Uh, Pretty much everybody has figured them out. Their defense, yeah, their defense, you know, it got somewhat to do with it, but they're not. Listen, the defense ain't playing as bad as the offense. I could tell you that much. And I've already talked about that. Mahomes already came out and admitted that. If they lose tonight, they're not making the playoffs. That's facts. That's facts. That's real facts. And listen to this, TJ. If I'm the other teams, which I already know that they're doing, they're looking at every. They're not looking at Kansas City's like defense or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not looking at at any of at any of the defense or anything. They're paying attention to the offense and how is it that they're getting stopped? Why aren't they progressing? And they're using that shit, and they're gonna put the clamps on them. Now, look, I know Andy Reid's been having a tough time. You know, I hope everything gets better for him and stuff. But teams don't care about that. Teams don't care about that, man. They don't care what you got going. Yeah, we sad about you. It's just like with Deontay Wilder, even though he ended up losing against Fury and everything, but he felt bad about his daughter and all that other stuff. But he said, come fight night, I'm gonna still knock your ass out. Now that didn't end up happening, but you know, I mean, he knocked him out, during the fight and everything. But he still had the mentality like, look, I'm still gonna whoop your ass regardless of whatever shit you got going on. This is competition. And see, in various sports, a lot of guys they use that shit against the opponent. They want to prey off of your weakness. They want to capitalize off of that shit. They want to use any of your insecurities that you have all against you, so that it'll make you shrivel up, and that way you'll be mentally distraught. So I don't see the Kansas City Chiefs as a threat. And if some people don't like me because of what I said, hey, that's fine. Listen, there ain't no Kansas City. Man, there wasn't a lot of Kansas City Chiefs fans until Mahomes had came. I was a Kansas City Chief at one time because I used to like Marcus Allen when he was playing with the Raiders. And but other than that, I rooted for them here and there. A lot of people rooted for the Chiefs too because of Joe Montana. But I just don't I don't to get back to the Cowboys. I don't see anybody beating the Cowboys. I see a couple